Hey, beautiful souls. I am coming to talk about abundance from an overflowing, activated state of abundance. But when I'm talking about abundance, I want you to actually take that word, abundance, and realize that the word dance is in there, because that is what it is. When we talk about the energy and frequency of abundance, it is a dance with the all that is. And we had a really gorgeous ceremony inside the playground membership today that lit me up and honestly activated me to new heights and new levels of abundance. So please, by all means, feel into the energy field and pull out any of the codes that you require for your next level of abundance. It was so profound. We called in sacred space. We channeled through a bunch of paradigm shifting, subconscious repatterning and reprogramming to move out of scarcity and lack and into the new paradigm of, oh yeah, the all that is what we are, and we can tap into that abundant flow when we move out of the old programs of scarcity and separation and lack and zero-sum games, and understand that there is so much more availability when we connect in with the frequencies of abundance. So, it was so beautiful. If you are part of the playground, definitely catch the replay, because we then created this beautiful altar or money bowl, whatever you were going to do. I poured so much cinnamon into mine, because sometimes you'll use cinnamon sticks, but I didn't have any and I forgot to go shopping for some. So I literally dumped cinnamon into this bowl with crystals and money and gems and this beautiful little Queen Nefertiti thing that was my grandma's. And I was just huffing the abundance from that. So we created these money jars in this ceremony. Some people did it as an altar, and then we danced. We danced these incredible clearings, like letting go of the old stories, the old paradigm stuff, the there's not enough, the we have to hang out in lack energy, the if I have more than someone, I need to feel guilty, all of that old ish. We let it go through moving and shaking and breathing and literally just sending it into the earth to be transmuted. And then we called in this incredible abundance of the universe, right? Of the earth. Gaia was there with us, this beautiful alchemist who has assured me, as I work with her and talk with her daily, that there is more than enough for all of us. And we have to be available to it and work with each other and work with her, as opposed to against her, in order to be able to access this infinite abundance of the planet that we are on, and working with her as opposed to against her involves managing, environmental resources, but also our own energy fields and having everything in alignment. So Gaia is already hanging out in these beautiful fields of infinite abundance. She can tap into that. She already is it. And it's our old programming and way of being that's keeping us stuck in that space of lack and scarcity right now, and survival and all of that. And I was actually moved to tears in this ceremony when I was channeling through this invitation for people to really feel what is about to happen and what's already in motion, what's already manifest on the planet right now. It is a shift of paradigms, of course. We're moving from scarcity into abundance, but also from money and energy and the ability to create out of the hands of just the 1%, the wealthy old white families and stuff like that, and into the hands of creator beings who are here to create with the planet and with humanity's best interests at heart. The healers, the coaches, the practitioners, the light bearers, the visionaries, like you guys. It was really profound when I asked people, what would you do? If I just gave you $1 million right now, what would you do? And I was crying, immediately crying, because I could feel people's hearts just start to leap up, and they were thinking of all the good that they would do with more money. They were not thinking about the wars that they would start and the weapons that they would create. They were not thinking about like raping and pillaging resources and subjugating humans and like taking advantage of them. Like, no, that was not it. They were thinking about all of the amazing causes that they could support, all of the positive impact that they could have on people's health, on the environment, on supporting the animals. Like, again, I got choked up immediately when I just felt them think about what they would do with that money. And I was like, see, this is why I am so excited to be alive here during this paradigm shift. And I am so excited to be a part of that too, to watch and witness and support and hold space for the healers, the teachers, the light bearers, the people that are connected into the service for others, service to the all paradigm. Because they're gonna make amazing, amazing things happen with their money. Oh my gosh, if you're watching this live or on the replay, tell me, what would you do with $1 million? What would you do? What would be the impact that you would want to have on the world? What would you want to share with the world? Like, I love donating to Earth Change, which is one of my favorite organizations that are working on planting trees and clean water initiatives and everything like that, from adding in the frequencies of spirit and bringing that all to it. I would love to be part of the movements to shift the way we're living. I have big dreams. I'm probably going to take more than millions of dollars to actually completely redesign how we live on the planet and the houses, the buildings that we use, and allow them to be in more earth-friendly, energy-friendly pockets, communities where we can support each other instead of being so isolated. I want to be part of all of that. And I would love to hear, tell me, I can't see the comments for some reason. If anybody has commented already, what would you do with this $1 million? You have big dreams, right? I can see all your hearts. But if there's comments, I don't know why my phone is not showing any of those right now. So in order to be able to do all of this good, right? All of these things that you want to do to help the earth, to help humanity, to help people, you have to be energetically available for the abundance that you require energetically to make these things happen, right? The abundance of resources, the abundance of connections, the abundance of inspiration, support, community, collaboration, first off, but also the money that it's gonna take, because currently we use money as a way of exchanging energy. My amazing, inspiring friend, Christine Nicole, calls money monergy, to really drive home that it's energy. So people have all these hangups about money, right? We've got all these old programs. Money is evil. Money is the root of all evil. People that have money are bad people. Like, if I have money, then, you know, there's going to be all kinds of, I'm going to lose it. Like, there's just all weird programs about money that we have. And we can repattern those. We can put a new paradigm in, because all of those old programs were designed to keep the spiritual people, the healers, the teachers in poverty, so they couldn't actually affect great change on the planet, by the way. But what if we replaced the word money with energy? Would you like the energy to be able to make these impactful shifts and changes on the planet? Would you like the energy to be able to do that? Of course you would, right? And right now, money is energy, right? It's currency. The current of money is energy. It just is. It's frequency, and it's neutral, and it's what we do with it that matters. And so, are you energetically available to abundance? to money, right? When I say energetically available, it's like, are you able to open to receive the money and the abundance that is your birthright? Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I will literally close myself off to abundance, to making more money in some ways. I've done it several times when it comes to work. I'll be like, you know what? I just need to focus on me, and I'll close everything down. I'll be like, no new clients, no launches, no nothing. And nobody will reach out to me. Nobody will be like, hey, can I work with you? Because I have literally just been like, nope, I don't want any more. I am not available right now. I am full. I am full, and I need to process, and I need to do some alchemizing and digesting and healing and work on me. And then nobody's going to be like, hey, can I work with you? The instant that I become energetically available to working with clients one-on-one, and I go in, and I usually do this quite consciously, and I'd be like, okay, it's time to open. I am ready. I am available. I can hold space for people. I have the spaciousness and abundance in me to be able to do that for other people. Sometimes I don't even have to make a post, and I'll have people reaching out to me and being like, I think we need to work together. Sometimes I'll write a post, and then immediately somebody's like, ping, it's time. There's availability. I'm here. I'm with you. And that happened last week when I just, on my last live a couple days ago, when I was like, okay, I'm finally ready. I'm open for new clients. Somebody's like in my DMs, hey, I really want to work with you in your mentorship, and this is perfect. Soulmate client, perfect fit. Going to be so much fun. Amazing. It happened last year too. I had been energetically unavailable to new clients, to new opportunities, to all that stuff for a couple weeks, because I was like, nope, I need to be healing, doing my thing. And then I opened back up, and I was literally just writing a post saying, hey, I'm here. This is what I do, and here's who I'm calling in. And the second I posted it, I got a message from a beautiful friend and soulmate client, perfect person to work with me. And I was like, did you read my post that I just hit send? Like that timing doesn't even work. And she's like, what post? No, I didn't. And I was just laughing because it was instant manifestation. I was like, I'm energetically open, and the client's like, hi, here I am. I'm available. I'm right here. And obviously, we had been playing on the energetics with our highest selves or whatever. We had been organizing and arranging that in order for those pings to be happening at the exact right and perfect time. She didn't see my post. She had just been thinking about it for a really long time and hadn't reached out. Did she know that I was not taking clients at the time? Probably not. I didn't publicly announce that, but my shields were up. I was like, nobody knew. Come into my field. I don't have space for you right now. The instant that I went, I'm open, I'm free, there she was, sliding into my DMs, and we've had the most amazing time working together. And so this is a really easy example because I'm consciously opening and closing myself off. But I've also had times where I am not energetically available. I was just trying to swipe on my thing to see if I could read comments, but I still can't. If you're commenting, I'll see it afterwards. I have been energetically unavailable for things and not been aware. And let me know if you have noticed yourself and you're like trying to manifest abundance, make more money, do other things, and it's just not working. Typically, there's something internal that is happening, and it's usually subconscious or at the body level. So when I'm working with clients, I'm able to perceive typically some of those blocks, and sometimes they're in the mental realm, and they're like subconscious belief systems, like I can't handle more clients. I'm not able to hold space. I'm not worthy to bring in more space, or I'm not ready to be able to do this. I usually work with soulpreneurs, coaches, artists, that kind of thing. So I'm using these examples. but it could be for anyone. It could be, you want a raise at work, but subconsciously you're like, but I am not prepared to take on the responsibility, or I am not worthy of being at that level, right? It can be any situation. Same kinds of things are often the ones in the way. The subconscious programming is one part of it, but it can also be unresolved trauma in the body, right? Trauma just being something that has been too big for us to process at the time. And when something is too big for us to hold and understand and digest and all of that, it just gets stuck in us until we process it ourselves or with space being held. And oftentimes we're not even aware that it's there. It might be subconscious, but our nervous system, when we are still holding that, is going to throw up the shields, like defenses, like I am not safe, right? And when the nervous system is activated, we are in that fight, flight, freeze, like that kind of energy. The shields energetically are up without us knowing it necessarily, right? It might just be business as usual to you because maybe you've been living in that state for a long time. Or maybe you don't know that when you throw your shields up energetically and you're not letting in anything because you're trying to defend yourself from possible harm, you're also throwing your shields up to energetic abundance, opportunities, other possibilities, creations, money, like all of that stuff. You're just sending up the field that says, no, stay away, stop, don't come near me, I am unavailable. Right? What do we do? What do we do if our nervous system is activated and we're in that space? Well, you might be able to do some things on your own to move things through. Moving, shaking, toning, breathing, sweating. My new favorite vagus nerve relaxation tool that I saw in like a TikTok somewhere is to put my eyes to the right as far as they can go until I yawn. Look at that. Stimulates the relaxation and moves us in to that rest and digest energy. Gargling is another great one. Toning, humming, even like rocking back and forth. Things that we'll do unconsciously are often tools to help us relax our nervous system. There's belief repatterning. There is somatic work. There is tapping, right? Emotional freedom technique. There's EMDR, like rapid eye movement desensitization techniques. There is somatic therapy, body work, like subconscious imprinting technique. There are endless therapies, modalities, things that can help us process. And the reason there's so many is because there's not one right way to do anything. There's only the ways that resonate with you. And what works for me might not work for you. So we get to go on this really interesting journey of exploration of how we can process all of the unprocessed things. And sometimes it's honestly just enough to acknowledge and then feel the feelings. And like crying literally is one of the fastest ways for me to process things that have been kind of like shoved way down in there. And when I do that, when I process unprocessed emotions that are stuck in me, I create space. And the spaciousness is what we require for abundance to be available to us, right? Abundance in terms of money, abundance in terms of wealth, prosperity, connections, other forms of energy, opportunities, things like that. I went through a really big processing time. It felt from like November to the beginning of January. I just had a lot of stuff in my body that was ready to be felt. Some of it was from childhood, some of it was from the pandemic, some of it was from, maybe 5 or 6 years ago when I was pregnant. It was just time. It was like all of this stuff bubbled up to the surface and was like, here I am, deal with me before you can go to your next level. And I've been playing with all of these concepts for a long time now. So I am really grateful to myself that I listened. I listened when my body and my mind and my soul and all of that was saying, slow down. Don't take any new clients. Don't launch any new programs. You need to do you right now. You need to clear out some space. And in that deconstruction process, was there ever a lot of space created? And it's still happening. It's still continuing. There's still more that I'm working with, because it's, I don't want to say it's endless, but basically as we're living, we're still gonna come up against things that we can't process. So it's like kind of like the dishes. We always get to do them every time we eat. We need to do the dishes. So it's like this processing gets to happen on the daily. And if we don't do it, it creates this backlog in us, and then we have to spend some extra time processing. So this spaciousness allowed the abundance of inspiration, like my next steps, my next levels, what I want to do in business, what I want to do in terms of just like making memories with my family, what kind of holidays I want to go on, what kind of fun adventures I want to do, what kind of things I want to play with friends, with teaching workshops, all of that. I couldn't think of any of that for next year, for this year, when I was in December. When I was looking ahead, I was like, can't even feel it, because I had so much in me that was like stuck to me that needed to be processed. When I did that and the spaciousness opened up, inspiration, energy, so much energy to create, because I went through that process. And I mean, it's quite aligned with all the solstice energies that we go through, and it's cyclical, and it happened to me last year, years before. It's oftentimes around that solstice point at either the summer or the winter that I'm like, I need some space for me so that I can have the new things drop in. And I used to think there was something wrong with me when I would like need to go away and slow down, because I'm a very fiery person, and I bought into that capitalist productive mindset of like, go, 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 create, produce, keep going, you know, like do the same thing every day, instead of allowing for the cycles, allowing for the like expansion integration process to occur, and the digestion that we need for all of the things that we experience. So this is where I've been at. I'm curious if you've been here as well. Curious if you have had these experiences, and also if perhaps you could take a bit of stock and just go, I have dreams, I have desires, I have things I want to create. Am I actually available to receiving them? We got to be honest with ourselves. Are you actually an energetic match to the thing that you want? Maybe not. The only way to get there, though, is to even have the freaking space so that you can shift your vibrational frequency up into that space. So I guess I want you to consider that perhaps you have some shielding up right now, and perhaps there's an opportunity for you to do a bit of that clearing out right now. Steph, yeah, I know, because you're so amazingly abundantly creative. Stephanie is the artist of this beautiful channeled soul painting behind me, and she has been my client, and she's such a powerful, magical soul. And we just noticed today when I put on my favorite shirt that I haven't worn actually for like a year or two when I've been teaching dance, or maybe I wore it once, that it freaking matches my soul painting. No wonder it was my favorite shirt. So being available to the abundance that you desire is an essential step. We need to be able to process anything that's in the way, transform it, alchemize it in whatever way feels good to you. There's no one right way. I listed off a bunch of things so that we can align with who we really are, so that we can connect with our highest self and our cosmic trajectory and have the space energetically for the next right steps to come through as inspiration. I call it downloads. Some people are like, I don't get downloads. You do. You just might not recognize them as such. But those pops of like inspiration where you're like, ooh, I should do this. And it feels good. It's a download, by the way. We're just running all kinds of software in our mind, and download is the easiest way to kind of explain it to people that are literate. But in the past, it would be a burst of creativity. It would be inspiration, we would just call it, right? From the muses. The muses were giving people downloads into their software programming, basically uploading it from the World Wide Web of the collective consciousness and pulling it into our brains. So yeah, when we do that, then we have the space to receive that inspiration. And then you have to go the further steps to act on it, right? To be like, okay, how do I become an energetic match for it? Maybe you have to take some aligned action. Maybe you have to learn some things. Maybe you need to connect with different people. Maybe you need to shift up your frequency and be able to hold more energetically, right? The process depends on where you're at, but matching up energetically is only possible if you create the space, right? If you take the shields down. So letting yourself process the stuff, the unprocessed things, the overwhelmingness of life, because there's so much coming at us all the time. And we have a lot from that we're also clearing, by the way. The reason this is so hard is because we're also clearing past lives. We're also clearing our ancestral lines. Almost all of us that are watching this right now. We're also, doing some other work on behalf of our soul and the collective. So it's a lot and it's constant, and we get to have that energetic hygiene and work through what is unprocessed, relaxing the nervous system, letting things flow, and just taking the time to rest, digest, and integrate so that we get the space for the abundance to even be possible. Before you can be that energetic match for your desires, you have to pull the shields down and create space within you to hold it. So this is everything that's been coming through over the last week. There's so many fun new things that are going to be shared over the next little while. And if when I was speaking to you, you felt this like, I want to do that, but I want to be held while I'm doing that, I do have 2 spots left in my mentorship that I've just opened up. As an Ascension doula, which I'll talk more about on another day, I love holding people through their creation process, but also through their own personal rebirthing, right? We're always evolving, and sometimes going through that process is painful and confusing, and it's nice to be held. So if you want more information about that, you can message me. I'm going to be sharing lots more about the abundance codes that have been dropping in a free masterclass coming up in February, and all kinds of beautiful stuff. But I absolutely adored sharing this with you today, sending you all the vibes from the abundance ceremony in the playground, and just wishing you well on the journey of creating the space, right? Creating the space, clearing the stuff out. It is not easy, but it is the most worthwhile thing we can ever do. So thank you for being you and for being on this journey with me. This is day 8, which is also amazing. 8 being that, the infinity symbol, the infinity loop, but standing up on its head, talking about the infinite abundance that is available to us as our birthright. So how perfect is that? The universe is supporting us in ways that we can't even comprehend. And I love you. Have a beautiful night. And I will be back with day 9 tomorrow of this 365 live challenge. Sweet dreams.